Cashless Society here again today. And before I get started, I wanted to quickly point out that I did cross over 200 subscribers. So I really do appreciate everyone that is watching my videos, taking the time to watch this channel grow as a whole, because it is new, but I'm really enjoying it. So before we get started, please hit that like button. Maybe a dislike if you don't like the video, but subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're going to get notified every time I make a new video. And let's get started. So today I wanted to talk about this article that came up. It says, here's why decentralized exchanges are growing so fast right now. So let's take a look. It says decentralized exchanges boast a monthly volume of only around 40 million as recently as January 2019. This July, they accounted for almost 4.5 billion. From incompatibility with non-Ethereum cryptos to scams and user difficulties, a number of factors may conspire to keep the majority of traders loyal to CEXs. Centralized exchanges. So, I highlighted that portion because I'm going to continue to talk about that more and more. But right now, all of these decentralized exchanges, they only allow you to swap Ethereum tokens. So from one Ethereum shitcoin onto the next one, that's all you're allowed to trade really on them, because they don't have the tech to make it happen in any other way. Also, another thing I wanted to point out is it says there is now more than 5.6 billion total value locked into DeFi platforms, according to DeFi Pulse. Not interested in participating in what this is, an experiment at best right now. All of this yield farming and lock your tokens here and there and do this and that, and all of a sudden you get 50% annual return or 2% daily. That's just an experiment at best, and a good way to lose your money, in my opinion. So I'm just going to keep hitting that home on my channel, because DeFi is the new hot craze right now, but to me it's just a distraction and a good way to lose your money. But I'm sure there's plenty of great DeFi projects out there. Don't want to get too far on a tangent, but a lot of them are pretty scammy, so just be careful. Alright, so another few quotes I wanted to take a look at. It says, looking to the longer term, it's also likely that the growth of decentralized exchanges will be driven by their main selling point, the ability to retain custody of your own coins while trading them. That's true. Another main selling point, though, is that centralized exchanges can and will always be able to get hacked. So there's that risk as well. So if they're not a trusted exchange and they're centralized, that's another risky area to be storing your wealth. Alright, so this quote here from a Binance research spokesperson says, still a long way to go for decentralized exchanges to consistently reach the same volumes of current centralized exchanges. In particular, the trading of popular cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, EOS, Litecoin, or any other asset not running on Ethereum is impossible, or only possible via one-to-one pegged assets. So that's not true. That's an incorrect statement. There is one exchange, Nash. Nash Exchange allows for the exchange of Bitcoin, Ethereum tokens, Neo, and Neo tokens, all on their one decentralized platform. And that's why I am super bullish on Nash long term, because they might not be getting all the hype and the attention with their YAM coins and their tokens, but they've built an actual working product, and they are Europe's first registered digital security. They are the only decentralized exchange in existence that you can trade Bitcoin on. So for me, I'm always going to stay in Nash's corner, and that's what I kind of wanted to make this video about as a whole. Okay, so I just don't know who this Binance research spokesperson is if they're claiming inaccurate information. I doubt it that they haven't heard of Nash. I'm sure they have. But anyway, yeah, so on a Uniswap, for instance, Uniswap is the one getting all the hype right now. So, yeah. the spokesperson is correct when saying you can only trade one-to-one pegged assets, but that's on all the other ones except for Nash. So for instance, in here, you can't trade Bitcoin, but you can trade wrapped Bitcoin. And you could come in here and you could swap your wrapped Bitcoin for 19,000 Ampleforth. All right, so the interface definitely is really easy, right? You just come in, put one, and then you get your estimated quoted amount right away, and then you connect your wallet and you make the swap. That's very cool. We'll see how it all plays out, but let's take a look at Nash. First, before we do that though, just wanted to note, it says Uniswap volume did 126 million in 24 hours, and this was on July 30th, which was 1/3 of Coinbase. So I want to examine what 1/3 of Coinbase volume would get you in staking rewards on Nash. But as I mentioned, so let's take a look here. So this is the user interface for Nash Exchange. On here, as I mentioned, you do have access to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Neo, all these pretty popular cryptos. You got 2 stable coins in Tether and USDC. But the coolest part about this exchange in general is that if you own these Nash tokens, the NEX, you can stake them away, and each and every single crypto that's ever traded on the platform will pay you out a small dividend in trading fees, essentially. So if you own Nash and you stake it on the platform, you'll get a percentage of Bitcoin, USDC, Ethereum, Chainlink, Neo, Basic Attention, 0x. If someone comes in here and makes a trade, you get a small percentage of that trade paid out in whatever token was traded. So trying to put this into perspective for people, I've always said this is like owning Fidelity or Charles Schwab shares and getting a portion of every single stock ever traded on their platform. Does that sound like something any investor in the world might be interested in? I would say so, yeah. So whether or not it is Nash that succeeds, this concept will succeed. I guarantee that. So the idea of the exchange shares essentially being owned by the community and the trading fees being owned essentially by the community by default there as well, it's a great investment thesis or investment idea in general. So it will work out somewhere. I hope it's Nash, obviously, because I own some, but we'll see. They're way ahead of the game when it comes to being a decentralized exchange that's fast, efficient, and allows for the most popular trading of, popular assets, including Bitcoin. The only one with Bitcoin. Anyway, let's take a look at what 126 million volume might look like on Nash. So what I did was, you can come over here to Coinbase Pro Volume. I just took that and I moved it down to 1/3, since they said it was 1/3 of Coinbase. So roughly what, let's just say 5 billion. So 1,000 NEX right now would pay you $179 a month in crypto dividends just by owning them. And right now 1,000 NEX is like $1,000. So down the road, if Nash will ever do Coinbase level volume, you're going to see $180 worth of dividends paid out monthly, just in whatever random crypto is traded. So that's a big deal. I mean, obviously, moving up, so a $5,000 investment, if Nash can ever become as popular as Coinbase as far as volume, it's going to pay you almost $900 a month in dividends forever. So, very interesting concept, to say the least. So that's why I support Nash. Decentralized exchanges are growing in popularity. I still think Nash can take the top seat because It has a great user interface. It is a registered security. They're doing things the legal way, and it's not just an Ethereum token swap exchange, essentially. So they have a lot. They're way ahead of the game, in my opinion, for decentralized exchanges. So I wanted to point that out really quick for you. Obviously, people get caught up in the hype and this and that. Oh, well, where's the next 10x? That's really all I want to know about. But, you know, in my opinion, in the long run, it'll be platforms like this that win out. So that's really all I had there. Another thing to kind of add to Nash, though, is that this article came out a couple days ago. Crypto savings accounts are coming to fintech firms that use Wire. I know Nash Exchange uses Wire, so they might be one to implement something like this down the road. But it's essentially where you can have a saving account on Nash or whatever exchange is using Wire, and you'll get some interest earned. So this is just DeFi and, you know, fintech doing its thing, but you know, just wanted to point out Nash is also connected here with Wire. Lastly, it says Bitcoins are being tokenized faster than they're mined as DeFi craze continues. So this just ties into everything I mentioned earlier. You know, wrapped Bitcoin is surging, and this is basically the only way to get Bitcoin into these decentralized exchanges that are only for swapping Ethereum tokens. Who knows where this is going to go, but to me it kind of defeats the purpose of Bitcoin in general if you're just going to tokenize it and then run it on top of Ethereum. But anyway, we'll see how this goes. Yeah, apparently right now there's basically more wrapped Bitcoin being created than actual Bitcoin. So yeah, kind of sounds like a paper gold instead of real gold, in my opinion. But alright, so I'm just gonna let you go now. As always, I really appreciate you watching. Hopefully I provided some value for you there, especially if you haven't heard of Nash Exchange yet. Definitely a sleeper, in my opinion, the best decentralized exchange. So yep, there you have it. As always, please like and subscribe, share with your friends and family, and stay tuned for the next one.
What is a cashless society? What does it actually mean in a literal or high-level sense?
Money will become like these, relics of a different age, and will only be found in places like this. In other words, hard cash will disappear. It will become electronic, transferred by things like these.
Then Tracy is in Beijing to show us what a nearly cashless society actually looks like. Ben, good morning.
Mobile payment transactions in China reached a cumulative total of 277.4 trillion RMB in 2018, ranking #1 in the world, according to the recently released statistical report on internet development in China. As of June 2019, online payment users in the country reached 633 million. The cashless society is now approaching.
When's the last time you paid with cash? Well, chances are cash has taken a backseat to the plastic in your wallet and smartphone pay apps.
Denver 7's Ryan Luby explains the digital pay revolution and why not everyone is on board.
The cashless society, the cashless society.
The cashless society.
The cashless society is now approaching.
The cashless society.